nose was bleeding, and it was bleeding in this nostril, then this nostril, and then out my mouth. Somebody who literally traumatized my life for the whole of 2023. Like, bro, I was crying, as in Tyrese crying. Like,
I ain't got a clue, bro.
So what can I say to you? But I'm off there, had to fall back. You got everybody thinking I'm all bad. You know the truth.
did you see my new little YouTube intro? Did you like it? Rebrand, yeah? Okay. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know again it's been a long minute since I disappeared, but does it matter? Not really, because you're seeing me here right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't lie, a lot has happened in the past. However, whenever I last posted, which is probably January, March, April, May, yeah, I posted in May, so baby, it's only June. Like, don't shout at me through the camera. But anyway, I do have a lot to update you guys on. This is going to be a live update. I did ask you guys to put anonymous messages to like ask your questions and stuff. I only got one response, but it's okay because we're still gonna answer it anyway, and regardless of that, I still have stuff to tell you. So first things first, I am now a baptized babe. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Actually, I'm gonna put a link in my bio for the full testimony that or basically the video that the church posted. But I feel like I want to get more into it and more talk about it more, because I feel like I did not say everything I needed to say when I was in front of all them people. So but I'm not gonna lie, I will say that is one of the most best feelings, like refreshing. I felt so refreshed. It literally felt like I was taking a drink of clean water. Not gonna lie, that's how it felt. I'll be real with y'all, that's really how it felt. But at the same time, it wasn't a good feeling. Like, the aftermath was not a good feeling. And I'll be real, I'm gonna tell you, because tell you what happened. So let me talk about the actual baptism. So obviously I got baptized on the 22nd of, oh, we're in July. I thought it was in June. Oh my days, I'm so sorry. So like, I have been missing for a month. But anyway, yeah, I got baptized on 22nd of June, and yeah, on a Sunday, which is a Sunday, and everything was went really well. Like, I had been putting this off for 5 years, because my first time that I wanted to get baptized was when I was 16 years old. So this was back in 2020, but because of COVID, it got cancelled, and they pushed it back to another day. I still had my A-levels to finish, so after I finished my A-levels, it kind of just went out of my brain, so I didn't even think about it. And then that's when most of my testimony started happening. So I just really was not in a position to get baptized, but I felt like now was the best time to do it out of any time. I felt like now, yeah, this is the time to do it. Do you understand? So after after, you know, how many years of being in university, you know, messing with the wrong people, etc, etc, I finally decided, like, you know what, this ain't even a joke, I've got to get this done. Like Jesus is coming back, because if I don't get baptized now, when am I going to push it back? Another 5 years? Jesus could come back before then, and I ain't trying to miss them trumpets. So yeah, so I decide to do it, and I'm really happy, and I'm really proud. So let me talk about the actual like process of the whole thing, and then I want to get to my testimony, and then I want to give you guys updates and stuff, say about my life. So first things first, as I said, I got baptized, and I was very nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Like, seeing all them people there looking at me, watching me, that's why I took off my glasses. Well, first of all, obviously you have to take your glasses off because you're getting dunked in the water. You don't want your glasses to go missing. 2, I didn't have a wig on because that wasn't going to come off. And 3, I wanted to take off my glasses because I didn't want to be able to see people. But anyway, when I was doing my testimony, my mouth was dry, as in I needed water. I needed water so much. That's probably why I said I felt so refreshed. But my mouth was dry. I had my amazing friends that came down to come and see me. Some came down from Bristol. One of my friends, she had a flight. She touched down in the morning, and then my thing was in the evening, so she came to go and see me in the evening. And I was like, do you know what, for God, you did your big one, like, you really blessed me. And so I had to give her a shout out during my testimony, because what do you mean you did that for little old me? So yeah, and I had some other friends that came down and stuff, so I really was so happy, and I guess it kind of filled me with a little bit of confidence. And everyone was saying if I did feel nervous, they couldn't tell, and I spoke very well. And I was like, really? Because bro, let me say something. As soon as I came off that stage, I don't know what I said. Like, I literally allowed the Holy Spirit to come over and take over that whole thing, because me, I couldn't tell you a thing I said. Even to this day, I literally couldn't. That's why I said I'll let you click the link, because I don't know what I said. After I've given my testimony now, you know, did the whole thing, sit back in your seat. They had Jamaican patties after church, which they were serving out. So that was all fine. This is where it got bad. So after I got baptized now, this is the week, the 23rd. I got sick, very sick. Not very sick as in like life-threatening, nothing like that. So number one, I got a cold. Then I got a cough. Then my nose started bleeding. Like, and I understand that sometimes your nose may bleed in the heat, but that's not happened to me for a while. And plus, we've had previous hotter days. So the fact that my nose was bleeding, and it was bleeding in this nostril, then this nostril, and then out my mouth. Yeah. And it was not stopping, so we had to call 111 to find out a solution, because it just was not stopping. I also nearly fainted at the train station, because again, I was gonna blame it on being really hot, but there have been hotter days. So it was so weird now that straight after my baptism, all this stuff is happening, bam, straight after each other. But yeah, I really have to say that was the devil, and it's kind of sad because he really tried it. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. I felt like Job in the moment from the Bible. I don't know if I don't know if like it was the devil was trying to get me to forget God or whatever. But babe, I was baptized the other day. What makes you think I'm going to turn around and do that? Absolutely not around here, partner. So yeah, unfortunately I did get a bit sick, and I'm still even recovering now. I don't sound too congested because I did a couple of days ago, but obviously I have a bit of a runny nose, like a bit stuffy. Do you get what I mean? So all of that stuff happened, but we thank God that I'm getting better. Like, we're on the speedy way to recovery. And yeah, that was the downside of it. That's all I can say. Like, it was just a lot of physical stuff. It wasn't anything spiritual or anything like that. But yeah, when I asked my anonymous questions, one thing somebody did ask me was, what was the strongest thing I struggled with? And I'm not gonna lie, I'll say it now, and I'll even say it to this day. Like, I feel like this generation, especially as young people, everything around the world around us is so lustful. That is one thing. And I struggled. I'd say I struggled in the sense where I struggled to keep my eyes on the Lord. Like, if something was tall, dark and handsome walked past, I was looking. And it's just like, I needed to get to a point where it's like, you know what, if this person, I don't care. Like, obviously I can appreciate God's creation, but at the same time, like, I don't want it to get to a point where it's like, it's sidetracking me. That was so hard for me, I'll be real. Like, it really was hard. Lust is one of the biggest things that, you know, everyone just struggles with, I'll be real. Especially because it's in your face, it's on social media, it's in person. Like, there's just a lot of like lustful couples around. So naturally, that is something that you would, you know, either want or lean into. And that was my problem. So yeah, that was the thing that I struggled with. But I'm happy to say that, you know, I've been on the straight and narrow ever since. And again, I won't say it's easy, but at the same time, like, when you've got God on your side, bruh, I'll be ducking left, right and center. Like, you cannot chat to me. Can't chat to me. I'm not friendly these days. Did you get it? Did you get it? I'm not friendly. Like, don't chat to me. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. But yeah, I just be ducking, guys, because again, that's not the point of, that's not the stage of life I'm at right now. Like, I've literally just got baptized. That's the only thing that matters to me right now. That's the only thing I want to work on, and that's the only thing I want to focus on. Like, that's what's gonna get me to heaven. Not baptism. The Bible and our relationship with God is what's gonna get me to heaven, and whatever comes through that, again, would definitely be through God. So it's the only thing I want to like focus on, whatever. So another thing I really want to update you guys and let you know, actually a couple things on my days, like I really have not sat down and spoken to you guys and told you how I'm doing. So obviously the last thing, yeah, let's go do a trip down memory lane. All right, ultimately the reason why I haven't actually been posting, ultimately the reason why I haven't really been posting like that is because I have just been going back and forth between work. So I don't have anything, I don't have content to kind of give you guys. Even though I'm really trying, I don't have content to give you guys. I'll be real, that's just me holding my hands up and keeping it a buck. Like, I'm a working babe. I ain't got uni right now. I finished uni for the year, going into third year, amen. Yeah, with God's grace and ChatGPT, I owe it all to you lot. But yeah, no, seriously, I don't have anything. Like, I've just been going back and forth between work, making my money and doing what I have to do. Because I work Monday to Friday 4 to 8, there's not a lot of time for me to do anything beforehand. So that's why I kind of really don't, like, there's nothing for me to vlog. And sometimes even on the weekends when I have my Saturdays off, I'll either use that to rest or I'll use that to like book overtime and work extra. So really and truly, I'm just a working babe, and that's just me keeping it 100% real. Like, I'm hoping I can be authentic with you guys and you guys can understand me. Like, I'm being so real right now. I ain't got nothing to post, that's why I ain't been posting, but I am gonna have a vlog coming out soon. But another thing that I need to kind of update you guys on is that I recently was diagnosed with PCOS. So basically that's polycystic ovary syndrome, which is basically having loads of cysts on your ovaries. There are side effects. Side effects are like putting on excessive weight, being hairy, you know, having hair on your chin, your back, stuff like that. There's other side effects, I think, but not really. I don't know if they're bad ones, but basically it can't be helped. PCOS can't be helped. It's quite common. It's a lot more common than people think. Like, quite a few people can have quite a few females can have it, and there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately, unless you're trying to get pregnant, which again, I'm not trying to do that right now. So it's just, that's just brushed, but most people can go. You can go for laser surgery and get it off, but that's only if you're trying to maybe conceive, because you are more prone to having miscarriages, and it is quite hard for you to actually have children. So on top of having it hard to have children, it's also hard to, you know, do the full actually birth the baby and have the child. So God forbid that's not my portion. Like, I will not, you know, receive that by any means necessary. God is really on my side and God has got me. But yeah, I went for a scan. I haven't yet received my results on how bad it is, but I will soon, because that was last week Tuesday and I'm meant to get my results probably this week, but I haven't yet. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated and keep you guys posted with that. I mean, there's no pain, there's nothing like that. Like, it's not a thing. I had my emotional little, you know, upset, and that was it. So that was in, I think, April. I think I found out April or January, April or May I found out. And yeah, I've just been going ever since. Like, I only had my scan, as I said, the other day. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then there is treatments and stuff to reduce it. Obviously there's some there's different like remedies and all of this kind of thing to help it. So yeah, when the time comes to do that, I will do it. But first, I'm just gonna keep in touch with the doctor and like keep an update on what's going on, because I'm not like, I don't know how serious it is, I don't know how bad the case is yet, but I will find out, okay? And yeah, another update, yeah, so you guys already know I finished university for now and I am continuing to third year. I have another trip booked. We're going somewhere. I'm not gonna say when and I'm not gonna say where. You guys will find out when I just drop the video. But yeah, I'm open. One thing I'm really like wanted to do more though is like find new friends, create new bonds with Christian girlies, because you know, like, why not? No, why absolutely not. Iron sharpens iron, and I really would love to meet new girls. I really want like us to bring each other closer to God, because I feel like that's the best kind of gift. Like, having sisters and stuff in Christ is one of the greatest gifts. So yeah. Right guys, I'm gonna go into my testimony a little bit, because I kind of didn't write anything down, and I kind of didn't go into it too much in my baptism video. But basically, I just want to start off by saying that I was born and raised in church. Like, I was a church kid, and I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the best blessings. People, that is very underrated. Like, people don't understand how much of a blessing that is. To be born and raised in church protects you from so much. Like, I don't think people understand the way that you are naturally shielded from things of this world, that you're not exposed to. Like, you're not really exposed to like abuse, you're not really exposed to, you know, like sexual stuff out like around you, stuff like that. You're kind of guarded and protected. So growing up, I never really was an issue as a child. Secondary school, you know, you have a mild attitude that you do. You have, you know, you're going through your puberty, so you're a bit mouthy, you know. That's the worst that I was when I was at home. And I never really was problematic like that. I didn't like to cause issues and stuff. I was very passive. Is that the word? I just didn't like problems, yeah. I'd rather sit in silence and be hurt than, you know, talk about how I felt about something. So I never said anything most of the time. Even through secondary school, like, I had a group of friends and we was cool. Like, you know, we all believed in God, but as you do, you don't know God for yourself like that. So at the age of 16, that's when I went to a church boot camp where the pastor was speaking about like Revelations, the book of Revelations, and everyone knows that book of Revelations gets you. Everybody's done at that altar. I wanted to, you know, get saved and rededicate, because it just, I don't know, just something about that book of Revelations. It's so scary, but because it's so real and we know the truth. So yeah, that's when I rededicated for the first time. And so I can't remember my life from 16 to the age of, like, say about 20. So in those 4 years, I don't really recall anything bad that necessarily bad that happened. I mean, I was talking to guys, but I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, I wasn't meeting up with, like, I was amicable. I really was kind of a good kid. Like, I didn't do anything. I think the most I would do is probably lie about where I was going. If I would go, say I would go to a party, I say I was going to a party, but I say I'll go somewhere else, like to my friend's house, whatever. And I would wear like revealing clothes. I'll go to my friend's house, change, and then come and then go on from there. So that kind of was where it started. But it didn't, my testimony didn't really start until I went to university. It first started off with me in 2023, I think, because I had my sense of freedom. I had that, you know, little like first bit of freedom. So I was on a wild one up April. I was meeting up with everybody. Guys was coming to my accommodation. I was meeting up with people that I wasn't meant to meet up with. I was going to places I weren't meant to be going. But one thing I can say though is that God was always there, because every single time I always felt convicted. And I will say that when you feel convicted about something, it's a sign that God is still talking to you. God is still there. God is still close to you. And I'm so glad his voice never ever left my side, because if it left my side and I wasn't hearing from him anymore, I think I'd be so far gone, like to the point where I just be doing my own thing, because I ain't got no conscience. I haven't got God on my shoulder telling me that, you know, this is wrong, and I'd just be doing it. But no, he was always there, and that's one thing that I can say is a blessing. And the fact that I've been growing up in church, again, I always knew God was watching me. I always knew right from wrong, so I can't even turn around and blame nobody else, because I knew. And so yeah, so in 2023 my 2023 my friend took me to my first ever club, and I can't lie, dead. It was so boring, and I already knew that this was not my vibe. This is not where I want to be. Like, this is not my area of, you know, expertise. I like, get me out, really and truly get me out. And I sat in the corner, I like fell asleep because I didn't want to be there. Like, this was not for me, and I already knew that from that point forward that was fine. But unfortunately, in that club I met somebody who literally traumatized my life for the whole of 2023. Like, it was so bad. I really tried to cut ties with this person, but it just wouldn't happen. We would always end up speaking. It was very, very toxic, actually. Like, back and forth, 1 minute we're together, 1 minute not, and it was just too much, to the point where it's like, you know, in 2024, that's when I was like, yeah, it's done. I need to come off and stop talking. But then I always felt the need to have somebody there. Like, I suffered with not self-love, but I suffered with people not having the ability to love me the way that I love me, because I was fine with loving myself. It was just the fact that I wanted somebody to love me like how I love myself, and the fact that men were incapable of doing that made me very, very annoyed and upset, because it's like, why is it not I know you're capable, so why are you not doing it? So I would keep searching, looking around, and it would always end up in a like it would always end up me getting more upset, because no one could ever actually fulfill that. And the thing is, I already knew that the only person that could fulfill that was God, but I always thought that, you know, I'm locked in with God already. Like, it's just about finding my person now, which was a lie, because I was not close to God at all. I wasn't reading my Bible, I wasn't praying, I wasn't talking to him. I was actually avoiding church. When things like this would happen, I wouldn't even tell my friends. Until I eventually did become accountable. So when I did end up going to church one time, I received a word from the pastor, and the pastor told me, he was like, Ashleigh, yeah, he called me by name. He said Ashleigh, you're here, you look in the mirror and you're always wondering why does nobody love you, but I need to tell you, but God told me to tell you today that he's the one that loves you, and you need to seek that love that you're looking for. You need to find that in him, bro. When I tell you I started bawling, bro, I was crying, as in Tyrese crying. Like, oh my god. It was bad. So yeah, and then from then I just knew, because I had never spoken to this pastor about my business. Like, I'm a very private person. I don't speak to much people about the stuff that I go through. I don't really like to. But yeah, and then from that point onwards, I think that was in 2024, around March. Then January 2025, January 1st, gave my life to Christ. And then from there, I was like, I've been locked in with God ever since. Like, it's not been easy. It has been hard. There has been temptations, but thankfully, like I say, I have not given in to them temptations. Like, absolutely not. There's no way. Like, God's love is so much greater than any kind of love in this world, and he's the only one that can ever fulfill that. So I would say, if you're questioning about being baptized, do it. Don't even second guess it. Do it. Same thing with if you're thinking about giving your life to Christ. Do it. Just do it straight up. Like, Jesus could come back tomorrow. What have you got to lose? Honestly, what have you actually got to lose? Like, there's nothing you can lose. Because why don't you just try it? You're trying all the drugs, the boys, you're trying the skimpy clothes to get attention and stuff like that. Why don't you just try God? See what happens there, and you'll see how much you can actually change your life. But guys, my camera is about to die, so I want to wrap up this video. I want to say it was so nice to tap in with you guys face to face, because I realized we haven't spoken on a voice way in a minute. So you guys will definitely be seeing my face soon again. I just want to say I love y'all, Jesus loves y'all, and I will see you in a few.